What's going on, guys? Itachi Chihuahua here, coming at you with a deck profile. Pretty much, I decided I'd share my Spellbook Prophecy deck build, and I really didn't want to at first because I put a lot of hard work and time into it, but I finally caved, so here is my deck build. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, to start this off, you have your three High Priestess of Prophecy. This is the boss monster of the deck, and you reveal three, and you can three Spellbook spell cards, and you can special summon her to the field. And once per turn, you can banish a Spellbook spell card from your graveyard or your hand and pop a card on the field. So yeah, it's a really, really good card. Next up, you have three Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. This card is amazing. You special summon or you normal summon him, or if he's flip face up, and you get to search any Spellbook card in your deck. Really, really good card. And in this particular build, I run 15 Spellbooks, and yeah, so that searches out 15 different cards. I decided to run two Temperance and two Justice of Prophecy. Makes it really, really consistent, and you don't really clog Justice or Temperance. And I hated when I ran 3 and 1 at one point, and I just hated a clogging Temperance. So, yep, really, really good. Temperance allows you to special summon. If you activated a Spellbook spell card, you can special summon a level 5 or higher light or dark spellcaster monster from your deck. And then Justice is the same thing, except it becomes the end phase, and you get the spellcaster monster and another spellbook card to your hand. So it doesn't summon. The thing I don't really like about Temperance is that you can't special summon any level 5 or higher monsters for the rest of the turn. But I mean, if you're only going for one Priestess, it doesn't really matter. And Priestess puts in a lot of work. So just two Temperance and two Justice. I really like that. You run one Stoic of Prophecy. The reason for this is because Stoic of Prophecy will search out your Temperance and your Justice, which can really, really come in handy. And also, it is a target for the Grand Spellbook Tower, which I will get to later. I run two Breaker. Breaker is an amazing card because it pops back row, which is obviously very important in this game. And I don't run MST, so Breaker is my MST in this deck. Alright, and then for hand traps, I run two Veiler. There you go. Two Tragodia, and one Gores. I really, really like Gores in this deck. I didn't have him at first, but he has helped me so much. I run two traps, and I run one tower. So those are the only things that really stay on the field. If I really needed to, I can chain some quick plays and basically make a play out of that and get Gores out, but it really helps. So you get your two Veiler if you need to. Also, you could special summon your Priestess and then normal summon Veiler and then go Scrap Dragon or Stardust Dragon. So I really like that play. And then Trag is just amazing. He gets really big in this deck because you draw so much and you have so much search and draw power. So yeah. On to the spellbooks. You run three Secrets. Surprise, surprise. Secret searches out 15 cards in the deck as well. It can't search out itself, but it can search out the Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. And then if you summon him, you can search again. So it's really, really good card. I really, really like three Spellbook of Power. Spellbook of Power, I don't even know why they printed it as a common because it's amazing. Gives your spellcasters 1,000 boost, and then if you destroy a monster by battle, you get to search out a spellbook from your deck. So, really good. Now, I usually run two Wisdom, but the reason I'm running three right now is because I only have one Spellbook of the Master. But basically, what Spellbook of Wisdom does is it's basically a Forbidden Lance for your monsters. Can only be used on spellcasters, but you can choose whether it can't be affected by other spells or other traps, and really, really good. And then Spellbook of the Master, what it does is you have to control a spellcaster type monster, and then it can copy any, and then you have to reveal a spellbook, and then it can copy any normal spell card in your grave. So usually it's the Secrets, but I've actually copied Power a couple of times because Power's not equip, it's just a normal spell. But once I get a second Master, I'm going to run two of each. So two Wisdom, two Master, but for now, three Wisdom and one Master. to Spellbook of Life. Spellbook of Life is amazing. It gets your priestesses back. Really, really easy. Nothing. The cost isn't high, and if after the summon has gone through, they MST it, your monster doesn't get killed. Just loses its level. So it's a really, really good card. I love Spellbook of Life. It has gotten me out of so many situations. So I actually had it at 1 for a while, and it was really good then, and that's why I made it. I put it at 2. For your singles, I run 1 Fate, 1 Eternity, and 1 Grand Spellbook Tower. What Fate does is there's 3 effects, but I don't really want to read them right now. But I don't think you're going to be able to read that, actually. Basically, you can banish, if you have to control a spellcaster, and you can banish any number of Spellbook spell cards from the graveyard and apply a certain an effect depending on how many you banished. So if you banished 1, you can return a set spell or trap card on the field to the hand. If you banish 2, you can change. It's basically a Book of Moon or the opposite of Book of Moon, so face down defense or face up attack. And if you banish 3, then you can banish a card your opponent controls. So that gets over Zen mains. So that's pretty nice. Eternity basically, all it does is get a banished Spellbook spell card and bring it to your hand. And it's really, really good because your priestess will always banish stuff in order to destroy cards on the field. And then your tower. I'm going to read this one because it's a little bit more complicated. Once per turn, during your standby phase, if you have a spellcaster-type monster on your side of the field or in your graveyard, you can return 1 Spellbook spell card from your graveyard to the bottom of your deck except for this tower, or the tower. Then you can draw a card. So you +1 every turn, and you get to recycle your spellbooks. When this card is destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 spellcaster-type monster from your hand or deck, whose level is less than or equal to the number of Spellbook spell cards in your grave. So let's say you have no spellbooks and this thing gets MST'd. You can still special summon the Stoic because the tower counts itself. So that's what I really like. I don't like tower at 2. A lot of people run tower at 2, but it's not useful to me. I'd rather have 3 power in 1 tower than 2 power and 2 tower. So, yep. Yeah, staple cards. Broke Hull, Broke Heavy, Broke Reborn. Self-explanatory. Last 2 spells of the deck. 2 Wonder Wand. Yeah, Wonder Wand is amazing. Basically what you do is, if you equip it to a spellcaster type monster, or you can only equip it to a spellcaster, but when you do it gains 500 attack, but you can send both to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. So let's say you have 2 spellbooks in hand, and you think you can get a priestess and another spellbook by drawing 2, because you're lucky or something, because that would be really amazing pluses, but or just pluses in general. You can equip Wonder Wand and send both and draw 2. Now, I've actually used it for the 500 boost a couple times because it actually is pretty helpful, especially against the Fire Fist nowadays, because they gain attack like crazy. And yeah, so that's helpful. It's really good in combination with the Spellbook Magician because you normal summon the Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, search out your Spellbook spell card, and then send both to draw 2. So you go +3 on 2 cards. So I really like those. And for the 2 traps that I run 2 Threatening Roars. Threatening Roars really, really help, especially with Justice of Prophecy, because by banishing Justice of Prophecy and making it your end phase, you are leaving yourself wide open for an attack. I really like Threatening Roar because it's chainable. If it gets MST'd, you can chain it. And the other thing is, the downfall to it is if they declare an attack and they announce their battle phase and all, and you activate it, that first attack still goes through, which a lot of people don't know. But you want to always make sure to activate it before they enter their battle phase. But I mean, it's chainable, as I said. It's a really, really good card, and it saves a lot. Saves me a lot. So that's the main deck. On to the extra deck. If I can get it out of its box. Alright. Give me a second here. Alright. So, I run 1 Slacker Magician. Yeah, Slacker Magician is really good. I really enjoy it. It's rank 1, 2 level 1 monsters, obviously. And once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this face-up card, you can detach 1 XYZ from this card, negate the activation if you do destroy the card, and Slacker Magician's defense is 2100, so it's really good. And then if you do detach, the only way you can really make this is if you have 2 Veilers somehow, which is really weird on field. I've actually never had that happen, but if they destroy your Grand Spellbook Tower and you get your Stoic out, and then you can normal summon Veiler next turn and go overlay for 1 and get out the Slacker Magician. And then the nice thing about this is when you detach, if you detach the Stoic, you still get Stoic's effect because it doesn't have to be on the field. Stoic is just sent to the graveyard, so I really, really like that card. As for the 2s, you have your Gachi Gachi and your Shining Elf. Gachi Gachi helps a lot because if you're in a bind, you just go Gachi Gachi with 2 Spellbook Magicians. Shining Elf is awesome because it's a spellcaster, and with 1600 attack, so if you really need to, you can overlay for Shining Elf and then put Spellbook of Power on him to make him 2600 attack, so that's awesome. For your 3s, you have your Leviair and your Zen mains. Pretty much Leviair plays really, really well if you use your Justice effect or if you use Spellbook of Life, because for Spellbook of Life you have to banish a spellcaster type monster in order to special summon. So it goes really well with that, and Zen mains is Zen mains. I guess there's no other way to really describe it. For your 4s, I run Maestroke and I run Utopia. Maestroke saves you and Utopia saves you, so I really like both of them. I was going to run a Dweller, but I rarely go into 4s. I've only gone into 4 one time out of all the matches I've played with this deck, and that was really, really last-ditch effort. I run Gaia, and I run Big Eye. I'm trying to figure out what else to run for Gaia because I don't use him, and there's not really any point in running him in this deck because I don't have any 5 or 6s that I can overlay for, and when I go for 7s, I go for Big Eye, obviously. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out another card. I might actually run Gustav Max because I have space, and I've had times where I've had 2 Treg on the field, so that's really nice. And that's it for XYZs. For Synchros, I run Formula Synchron, again for that Veiler Stoic play. If you were to sync them, you get Stoic's effect and you get to draw a card, so that's really nice. I run Armory Arm, because Armory Arm's broke. Cataster. Cataster's also obviously good. I run Black Rose. Can't really see it because it's Ghost, but Black Rose Dragon. And then I run Scrap and Stardust. I make Scrap a lot more than Stardust because if I want to get rid of my opponent's field, I can use Priestess Effect, normal summon Veiler, and then sync for 8 with Scrap, and then target 2 cards and destroy them. So that's really nice. And then Stardust is for, again, if I'm playing a deck with a lot of destruction. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you enjoyed the video.